All right, here we go. Okay, going live. All right, y'all. Give a few minutes for y'all to come in. Then got a few things to talk about in the WMMA world. Well, not just a few things, but you know, got a number of things to talk about. So give a few minutes for y'all to come in. Hang on, just on the phone here. All right. Yeah, man. So let's see. Yeah, we got some new fight announcements. Got a few fights, switching up opponents once again. So we're gonna talk about that. And then of course it's fight week. Got another fight, UFC fight event coming up. Got some solid women fights on there. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about all of that, man. And of course I want to go through and do the flyweight rankings update. I kind of just want to go back and see who has fights in the top 10 and just kind of update y'all on the top 10 as of recently. You know, because I was just looking at Alexa Grasso, her IG as well, and you know she posted up the updated rankings for the UFC flyweight division. So I said, all right, let's go down that, man. Let's just kind of see who has a fight and who needs a fight and who should be fighting. Yeah, we'll get started here in a minute or so. All right, man. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Got another 30 seconds. I'm just checking something here that we can get started. Robert Henry in the building. What's going on, Robert? Just about to get started here, man. All right, so yeah, man, welcome back to another CB99 live stream. Of course, it's me, Combo Breaker 99, in the building once again. But yeah, man, back for another live stream. You know, the weather's been crazy out here, man. We got like a winter weather warning out here, man. It's supposed to be having icy rain coming in around midnight or something like that. So, you know, I'm just trying to stay in. I ain't trying to go back out. But yeah, let's see what we got, man. Marcus Bell, what's going on, man? Got a few things to talk about. Got a few fight changes, some opponent swaps, fight dates changing, new fight announcements today, and of course we got a couple fights coming up this weekend. What else we got? The flyweight rankings update. The updates are in. Like I said, I saw on Alexa Grasso IG, she went on and posted it up, showing that she's broken into the top 10. So yeah, I just want to go down the flyweight rankings and read off the. I think I'll read off the whole ranking. I'm gonna start at number 15 on this one, man, because y'all gonna be shocked a little bit. Yeah, y'all gonna be shocked a little bit on the rankings. So we're gonna talk flyweight rankings, top 15, who needs a fight, who should be fighting, what's lined up for them. Then we're gonna go in and talk about, let's see, what else I got lined up here. Shannon Dobson and Casey Oneil. We're gonna talk on that a little bit. That fight's taking place this weekend. They already kind of building up Casey Oneil. I saw them doing an interview. I haven't really heard them talking to Shannon Dobson too much, but yeah. So I think they building up a new prospect in Casey Oneil. And what else we got? Kevin Vieira versus Yana Kunitskaya. That fight's going down. We'll talk on that. Shout out to Sam Hughes. She got a new opponent, Loma Lookboonmee, in May. That fight's going down. So yeah, we'll talk about that. Emily Whitmire, y'all know she had pulled out of the fight that was going down February 27th, so they pushed Sam Hughes out with Loma Lookboonmee. Loma Lookboonmee just got a re-signing of her UFC contract. So yeah. And then got some big news today. I know everybody's favorite flyweight, Chookagian, is lined up to fight Viviane Araujo. Yeah, that's the biggest news, I think, right there, right? Everybody's been talking about that. So we're going to have to look at them and match them up, like, technically. I just want to see for myself, like, what type of fight is this going to be? May 15th. Chookagian versus Viviane Araujo. I told you I got to give Caitlin her props, man. Caitlin is just doing it, man. Yeah, Marcus got the I don't know if it's going to be a snowstorm out here, but it's going to be ice, and ice is worse, man. Ice rain and like the black ice, that stuff is worse than snow, man. I would have rather had snow. Robert said, "Boo, Caitlin." Look, man, Caitlin, I give her a lot of respect, man. Like, I don't dislike Caitlin. Like, I can't. Like, there's nothing I can say I dislike about her as a fighter. Like, she may not have the best entertaining style, and I don't know what it is, man. I can't dislike her. Like, she getting her chips, man. Like, that's another plus to her. Like, she's a businesswoman. Caitlin Chookagian is a businesswoman. She's holding the top 10, top 5 down without a belt, getting the big fights, staying on the map, and getting the money. I mean, I can't, I got to take my hat off to her, man. For sure, I got to take my hat off to her. Ariane Lipsky versus Barber. Yeah, that'd be interesting, Marcus. That's an interesting fight, man. Caitlin get the money, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, from that standpoint, she just makes me say, okay, look, I know what she's getting, man, and nobody else is getting it like that. Under the champion, she's like the most active flyweight out there. She taking on everybody. But yeah, let's see here, man. Let's go ahead and pull up these UFC flyweight rankings. So yeah, man, like I said, first topic, let's talk about these UFC flyweight rankings. It just became a topic today, man, because I saw Alexa Grasso just posted it up on her Instagram, and she was showcasing that she was number 10. She broke into the top 10. And I was like, yeah, man, okay. I see what the move was, get that top 10 fighter, take their spot. And, from there, we'll see what happens. So let's just go down the update of the flyweights, too. That's what I wanted to do because, like I said, I wanted to see who has a fight now since all these other fights have taken place. JoJo and Jessica I fought. Who else has fought? Of course, Roxanne and Viviane Araujo. So the little tournament we were talking about, about a month back, with the flyweights. It's in effect now. You know, it's been going down. You know, of course, Valentina and Jennifer Maia fought. So let's try to match these fighters up again, man. Let's try to match them up and see who needs a fight. And let's already go ahead and see who has a fight lined up. So, all right, flyweight rankings. I got it pulled up. Let's see. All right. No, please. What's going on? No PLS. Does Yana have the worst chin in the bantamweight division? I don't know if she has the worst chin. I wouldn't say she has the worst chin. She's taking some big shots in there. She's taking some big shots. Yeah, she has. Hold on, before we get into it, let's see. Robert said technically Caitlin Chookagian is more active than the champion because no one wants to fight Valentina. Hey, that's a fact, man. I mean, that's real. Because there's a lot of people who've been lined up that could just go ahead and say, let me get the champion next, you know. Maya gets beat, Lauren could go in there. After Caitlyn got beat, so, you know, JoJo could have went in there. I don't know, you know, so yeah. I mean, that's true, though. All right, so let's look, man. Flyweight division. As of Monday, it's been updated. So, number 15, we got Macy Barber. Macy Barber plummets 5 spots. Macy Barber is now number 15. She plummeted 5 spots. After that loss to the original number 15 fighter, Alexa Grasso, she's down. So Macy Barber's in that spot where, yeah, she needs an opponent to get her back into the mix. Macy Barber needs a fighter, an opponent that can make her look good. No joke. You know, she needs somebody to really work on her skills with, because the next opponent she takes in the top 15, I think, or top 10, could beat her. She needs to fight an unranked fighter, in my opinion. I don't know about y'all, but Macy Barber's next opponent needs to be somebody unranked. Whether it be Victoria Leonardo or Poliana Buteo or Courtney Casey, Macy Barber needs to get some work in. I mean, after a year layoff and going in there with a seasoned fighter like Alexa Grasso, whether or not Alexa Grasso had 1 fight or 10 fights, Alexa, to me, showcased that was too much for her. You know, Macy Barber wasn't ready for a skilled veteran like Alexa Grasso, even if she was coming from 115. So Macy needs somebody that's a little tailor-made for her, that can give her some work, that can make her look good before it makes Dana White look bad. You know, because Dana White, that's who they're pushing as their next hype train. And look at that. The hype train drops 5 spaces, or 5 spots. So what are we going to do? I mean, if it was me, I would say, look, Macy, we're going to put you in there with another unranked fighter. If you look good, then maybe we'll give you Antonina Shevchenko. But if you look less than decent against a fighter like Victoria Leonardo or even Poliana Buteo, then we'll give you another unranked fighter. And who knows, that unranked fighter, if Miranda beats Jillian, it could be Miranda and Macy. Who knows? And I would have to favor Miranda Maverick in that fight. But as of right now, Macy Barber, she needs an unranked fighter. I'm gonna just put it that unranked flyweight to look good and just work. Let's see, number 14, we got Antonina Shevchenko. She's still in that spot. All right. That's about right. All right, number 13, Taylor Santos. Taylor Santos. Taylor Santos is in my triple threat. I'm gonna have to do a video on that. Y'all know I've been talking about my triple threat. Taylor Santos, Manon Firo, and Miranda Maverick. Those are the 3 fighters that are eventually going to be in the top 10, and they're going to take over. And these are the 3 fighters that's going to be retiring some of these flyweights in the top 10. Y'all heard it here. Y'all already heard it here. Taylor Santos, Manon Firo, and Miranda Maverick. Those are the 3 fighters, man, that's going to break in. So, yeah, Taylor Santos is in a good position, after her win over Jillian Robertson. I hope they can match her up with somebody in the top 10, man. Like Taylor Santos, I'm hoping they get her in there with somebody in there that can make her look good and, bust her up in there somewhere at number 6, 7, or 8. All right, number 12, Man, Andrea Lee is still in the rankings, boy. She drops a spot. Okay, Andrea Lee last week was number 11, right? Number 11 last week. She drops to number 12. Andrea Lee is still number 12. Like, she's slowly, like, out of all the fighters, like, she just, without being active and on a 3-fight losing streak, she'll drop, like, slower than everybody. You know, where, like, Jillian Robertson, they'll snatch her up out of the rankings. Even Montana De La Rosa, they'll just, like, snatch them up out of the rankings after one loss. Andrea Lee is slowly making her way down. Like, they continue to keep her at the number 10, 11, 12 spot. So Andrea Lee was scheduled to fight Jillian Robertson. I think she broke her nose in sparring or something like that. So she needs an opponent. I don't know. Andrea Lee versus Taylor Santos really wouldn't make sense. I want to see Taylor in there with the top 10 fighter. Let's see. Andrea Lee could fight somebody. Manon Firo. Let Manon Firo bust in there and take that number 12 spot. I like that fight. I don't know about y'all. All right. Number 11, Alexis Davis actually shoots up one spot because of this switch up. Alexis Davis is fighting Sabina Mazo at bantamweight. I don't know how she pushed up one ranking. I think that if you're not really competing at the flyweight limit, you need to be dropped a spot each time. That's just me. Like, I like Alexis Davis, of course, but I mean, if it's not really doing any justice for the actual flyweight division, I don't see how. Yeah, man, think about that. Like, Alexis Davis is number 11. Like, she's one fight away from being in the top 10, and she's been out of the octagon since July of 2019, and she's on a 3-fight losing streak. How does that sound to y'all, man? Tell me, do I sound crazy? Tell me, do I sound crazy? Look, Alexis Davis, her next fight is at bantamweight. She's a number 11 flyweight, hasn't fought in almost 2 years, and she's on a 3-fight losing streak. Y'all tell me that. Y'all tell me, do I sound crazy? I don't know. I'm just saying. All right, let me check the comments here real quick. All right, Robert said, technically, Caitlin Chookagian is more active than the champion because no one wants to fight Valentina. Robert said Macy's earned it. Yeah, she's earned that spot. Hold on real quick. What is going on here? Okay, there we go. Caitlin better hope Yana doesn't hold her against the cage for 3 rounds. Okay. Yeah, Furious 3. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. The only hope for Macy Barber if she wants it bad enough in practice and training. Shoot, she works with speaker Eric Thomas. Gotta want it as bad as you want to breathe. They snatched Jillian and Montana out of the rankings because neither belong there. I wouldn't say they wouldn't belong there when you compare it to Andrea Lee or Alexis Davis. I mean, you got to look at it in that fashion too, Marcus. I mean, does Alexis Davis belong? Like I said, that ain't no disrespect. I like Alexis, but does Alexis Davis belong more than Jillian or Montana? 3-fight losing streak. Next fight at 135. Haven't fought in 2 years. I would rather have Jillian in the top 15 than Alexis Davis right now. Come on, 2 years. 2 years and you haven't won a fight at flyweight. You lost to Viviane Araujo, Jennifer Maia, and Caitlin Chookagian. How is that enough to stay a Montana in the top 15? So if you shift her out, you have to put Jillian in there. I'm just saying, you know, or at least Manon Firo, one of them needs to be breaking through. But yeah, Andrea Lee has a drop down too, man. Like, 3-fight losing streak. Man, Alexis Grasso, her whole move kind of shifted this whole thing. Excuse me. All right, so that was 11 through 15. Okay, so we had Macy Barber's number 15 now. She dropped 5 spots. Then we had Antonina Shevchenko, Taylor Santos, Andrea Lee, and Alexis Davis. Like I said, It's shifting this around right here, 11 through 15. I actually would put Taylor Santos over Andrea Lee or Alexis Davis right now, just because she's been a little bit more active. I think I would put Antonia Shevchenko over Alexis Davis as well. But Macy Barber's probably in the right spot, just because, yeah, she's coming off a year layoff and she's 0-2 now. Did I say that right? Hold on. Yeah, in her last 2 fights, yeah. So jumping into the top 10, all right. Alexis Davis, number 11. Number 10, Alexa Grasso jumped up 5 spots after beating Macy Barber. Caitlin Chookagian called her out, but as y'all know, Caitlin has got her fight lined up. For Alexa Grasso, man, let me see. Grasso, let me see who they would probably line her up. I think they might be putting Alexa Grasso in there, Jennifer Maia next. I think they either might put her in there with Roxanne or Jennifer Maia. I mean, Roxanne. Let's move to Roxanne. Roxanne is number 9 right now. She's coming off the loss to Viviane Araujo. So Alexa Grasso, they might actually try to put her in there with the number 9 fighter, or if they really want to push her, they're going to put her in there the number 4 fighter. And I think style-wise, that would be an interesting fight too. 2 stand-up fighters, Alexa and Jennifer, but Alexa Grasso versus Roxanne would be interesting too on the feet. All right, so Alexa Grasso, number 10, Roxanne, number 9, and of course, number 8 is Jessica Ai. That fight could happen too. Alexa versus Jessica Ai. She's coming off the JoJo loss. Number 7, you got Viviane Araujo. She's lined up to fight Caitlin next, which could possibly lead to the winner fighting Shevchenko versus Andrade. That's my theory. Then, of course, number 6, you got Joanne Calderwood. Joanne Calderwood is looking to fight Lauren Murphy. She acknowledged that call out, so that fight might that fight might get made sometime in May or June. I think we might get that fight like May or June. JoJo versus Lauren. All right, number 5, we got Cynthia Calvillo. So Cynthia Calvillo, I thought her and Alexa would be an interesting fight, but she's out right now because of shoulder surgery, shoulder injury. One of the two. So we'll see when Cynthia Calvillo comes back. Number 4, you got Jennifer Maia. Number 3, Lauren Murphy. Then number 2, Caitlin Chookagian. Of course, number 1, Andrade, and Shevchenko is a champion. So, not much of a big shakeup in the top 10. Just, Alexa Grasso entering the top 10. I think the shakeup is mostly at the bottom level, 11 through 15. And just some weird and questionable rankings at the bottom there. You got, like I said, Alexis Davis still in a spot above some of these other ladies. She hasn't competed. And Macy Barber just dropping down to number 15. And if she loses again, she's gone. She's out of she's completely out of there. So yeah, let's see who can match some of these fighters up with next. Let's see. Marcus said, I think Alexis Davis should stay at bantamweight. Yeah, she should stay at bantamweight at this point, man. Montana can't beat the opponents ranked above her. Let's see, who could she beat? Her and Macy, that might be interesting, or who else? Yeah, I mean, that is true though. Yeah, you can't really say. I mean, Alexis Davis, yeah, probably would belong down there with them then. Yeah, they probably would. I think Jillian Robertson, I can see her beating some opponents more so. Yeah, she hasn't beat any ranked opponents as of yet, but she has more. To me, she has more wins that should put her in there. I mean, I would put Jillian, who has more unranked wins that push her above those fighters like Courtney Casey, Pauliana Mateo, those wins should push her like number 14 or 15 spot. Whereas if Alexis Davis and Andrea Lee, they continue to lose the top 10 fighters, then they got to drop too as well, because they're proving they can't beat ranked fighters either. You know, at least a Jillian is beating somebody, but you know, when you're talking about Alexis and Andrea inactive and on 3-fight losing streaks, they got to drop too. Maybe even lower, just due to inactivity. Robert said, to understand why Pena is ranked below Aspen Ladd and how Alexis Davis moved up a spot without fighting, please see a revisit rankings mean nothing video. UFC revisit UFC rankings. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we know that. Yeah, definitely, because like to a certain extent they do. But then after that, when you start putting Aspen Ladd at number, what do we say? When she was like number 3, I can't even believe they have Aspen Ladd in the top 10 pound for pound fighters. Can y'all believe that? I can't believe Aspen Ladd is number 9 in pound for pound UFC women. That's crazy. I mean, when you look at her wins, I'm like, okay, who does Aspen Ladd beat to be a pound for pound fighter in the UFC? Yeah, so yeah, rankings, yeah, don't. But I'm just saying, let's see. So yeah, Alexa Grasso, she might get matched up with somebody like Roxanne or Jennifer Maia. That would be interesting, or Jessica Ai, because you know she's open. Viviane Araujo versus Caitlin, that's going to be an interesting fight, which we'll jump to and talk about here in a minute. But yeah, those flyweight rankings, man. Sometimes you look at them, you be like, yeah, that's just like fan favorite. That's just like casual fan ranking. All right, let's see. Yeah, all right. So Shannon Dobson, she's lined up to fight this Saturday against Casey Oneil. This could be another one of those fights where people are overlooking Shannon Dobson, you know. I seen her on Instagram, you know, I think she's been in there training a little bit more, you know, getting ready for this fight. Casey Oneil, I just seen maybe like one of her fights, so it's really not something I'm going to break down or make a big prediction on, but I think this is just about every fight they put Shannon Dobson in is like a must-win fight for her. You know, it's like a must-win situation where they feed her to the next prospect or the next hyped-up prospect. So, you know, it's a fight with Shannon Dobson. I think she got to go in there, do the same thing like she did against Maria Agapova. Just stay cool, calm, and, you know, make that big statement. At the same time, you know, she got to make that explosion, man, like she did against Agapova back in August, man. Because I remember Agapova, man, she went in there and went taking her on like this was a street brawl. And Shannon Dobson, you know, they underestimated her, thinking we just going to look at her record. She's 3-4 at the time, so we just going to go in there and blast her out. But they didn't know, like, Shannon Dobson, man, come on, she has some experience under her belt. Even whenever she loses, she's learning something. You know, so I think this is going to be a fight where Casey Oneil can't go in there and underestimate Shannon Dobson. She's going to have to go in there and showcase some skills similar to like Sabina Mazo was able to do. Priscilla Cachoeira, boy, she finished it, man. Don't go in there playing with a veteran like, you know, Shannon Dobson. Robot Chicken Wings, what's going on? He said Roxanne needs to retire. Somebody got to retire, man. She ain't going nowhere till somebody retire her, man. So let's see. Casey Oneil is 5-0 flyweight. Let's see who she's fought for. She's mostly fought for WMMA, and she's fought for UAE one time. Pretty active year, you know. 2019, she fought 3 times, first 3 professional fights. She fought twice last year. I don't know, man. Like, Look at her 5-0. I don't know too many of these fighters on her record. Let's see. Just going by off her undefeated record, you just can't say that she's gonna go in there and blast somebody out like Shanna Dobson. You know, that's what makes this fight kind of interesting, because her 5-0 could be against lesser opposition, where, you know, Shanna Dobson's fought better fighters and has more experience under her belt. You know, Shanna Dobson got that power too. Shoot, I might take a look at one of Casey O'Neill's fight while I'm talking, but Bay, what's going on? So I think, yeah, going into this one here, it's really going to be a close call. I just can't say that Casey O'Neill, she's undefeated, she's going to be that fighter to win. I mean, I see the UFC's been kind of focusing more on her, so that she is the next fighter that they're trying to push. Okay, Casey O'Neill's fought at 115 a few times too. She's also fought at strawweight. She does look a little slim, you know, for a flyweight. Hang on here, I'm just playing one of her fights. Yeah, Marcus, it's suicide if you bet on that fight, because anything could happen in that one. Because sometimes whenever the UFC brings these fighters over here, like 5-0, and, you know, they see them, they have a certain look and they're doing certain things in these other organizations, they want to grab them and push them a little faster, you know, and that might be a mistake on their part, because she might not be ready for the caliber of UFC. You know, you see they pick Kay Hansen over a fighter like Aaron Blanchfield, and you see how that's going, right? Just taking a look at her right now. But El Wero, what's going on? El Wero said Araujo. He says hearts with Vivian, but his money's with Chookagian. Telling you, man, it's one of them fights. Like, Caitlyn, you can't count out. Like, Caitlyn's just got such a weird thing about her, where I picked Caitlyn to beat Jessica Eye, she loses. Who did I pick Caitlyn on? Picked Caitlyn to beat Jessica Eye, she loses. I picked who was her last fight she had fought? There's one fight where I picked the other opponent and she winds up winning. It's always like backwards with Caitlyn. That's the thing about her, man. Hold on. Mid-base, I think Jessica Eye is so bad. I think Roxanne still has some fights left in here. She's so experienced. Yeah, that's what's crazy. Like, I think Roxanne has a little bit more left in her tank, and yeah, her ability to win is still there. Her experience is there, more so than Jessica Eye. You know, Jessica Eye is, I don't know about her sometimes. Oh, Calvillo's out because of an injury, man. Just taking a look here. Casey O'Neill, and she got a good right hand. She got a good right hand and got some ground game to her. Yeah, this fight here is going to be like a toss-up, I think, you know, because Casey O'Neill's very, she comes forward with that pressure. I see she won her belt, an Australian strawweight title belt. So they did get somebody that felt was a champion in another organization, but again, that's just the, you know, that competition is lower over there. When did she win that belt? Hold on. Oh, that was like her second fight. Yeah, so this fight, I don't really have too much to say. Just put it out there. I think Shanna Dobson, she can go in there and pull off another upset here. She's gonna need to stay afloat amongst the flyweights where she's at. You know, she's still unranked. You know, she's going to need a win like this to put some eyes on her. Casey Oneil, like I said, she's 5-0 right now, and I think the UFC is trying to push her a little bit harder. So if she wins, don't be surprised if they try to push her into the top 15. I'm just saying, like, because I think they're trying to push her. You know, she's 23, undefeated. But we'll see how far she can go, too, because, you know, like I said, she's kind of a small flyweight. You know, she's fought at strawweight a few times. She's kind of small. But it's a toss-up for me. For real, it's a toss-up. I know all the casual fans just going to say, oh, Casey's undefeated. She's going to win. They're going to do just like they said against Agapova. But I'm not making a pick on this one. I don't see it going the distance, so I can say that just by what I've seen from both fighters. Really, I don't. What else? Let's talk about Ketlen Vieira and Yana Kunitskaya real quick, because I might do a breakdown on this one. You know, this fight here. Let's see. Let me pull up the rankings. I want to see what they are right now. All right, so Ketlen is number 6 and Yana is number 7. Just looking at the tail of the tape here. Yeah, Yana, she's a big bantamweight. I'm kind of favoring her in this fight. I just kind of feel like she has some of the skill sets, I think, to beat somebody with the size of Ketlen Vieira that's a little bit slower. You know, I know Ketlen likes to fight in a clinch. Excuse me, I know that Yana likes to fight in the clinch. She doesn't really use her striking too much, but I think that when she does use it, it's a little bit more impressive to me when she does let her hands go. I think that Yana definitely has some good foot movement and a good jab. Marcus said, Yana better not put me to sleep with her clinches against the cage. That's the thing, like, she uses a lot of clinches to buy a lot of time, but that kind of makes the rounds too close. And I think going into this fight, man, she needs to move around and use her feet and use her striking. Like, you really don't want to stay on the inside with the big, physically strong fighter like Ketlen Vieira. You know, I don't know if she'll be able to clinch and stay in there too long with a fighter like Ketlen. Because, you know, Ketlen's big, though. You know, Ketlen was letting her hands go. Minna said Ketlen might be gun shy because she got knocked. No, man, I don't think she's going to be gun shy, because when she came back in that Sarge fight, she was dropping bombs on Sarge. You know, that was the thing I was going to say. Like, she started letting her hands go a little bit more in that fight. Like, I don't think she's gun shy. You know, Irene Aldana just had that power and that speed that she didn't see coming. But when she bounced back against Sarge, you know, last year, you know, Sarge is a smaller fighter. You know, she was not dropping some nice right hands on her. You know, she was fighting at a good distance. A little bit slower, like I said, but, you know, she was connecting. And, yeah, I think that, yeah, Yana's she's a pretty big bantamweight. But to me, I think Ketlen's much stronger. I would have to favor like her in the clinch a little bit more, just because, you know, her ground game to me is better. She is an inch taller. You know, Ketlen Vieira is an inch taller, and I think, you know, she actually looks like a featherweight. Sarge is more of a ground fighter. I mean, you know, when she throws her hands, she's pretty good with them. I mean, she's got a nice right hand, but, you know, she's more of a grappler. You know, she's more of a ground fighter. Ketlen might be gun. Yeah, I read that. Okay. So yeah, I think that it's gonna be an interesting fight here too, man. Like, this one, I wouldn't bet money on either. I mean, you talk about number 6 and number 7. You know, again, you know, Yana's one of those fighters that sometimes shows up and then sometimes she's not there. I mean, Stoyarenko, that last fight out, I feel like was more tailor-made for her. You know, Stoyarenko just has that type of defense where she can let her hands go and she could press that type of action. You know, she had that type of speed and that type of strength to handle a fighter like that that's limited. But, you know, even when you talk about Aspen Ladd, she had the power to hurt Yana Kunitskaya. So when you look at it, I think Ketlin definitely has that power to hurt her. So she can't really stay in the pocket with a fighter like Ketlin. That's why I say avoid those clinches and just make this a stand-up fight. You know, she has that kickboxing background, so I don't know, you know, she just needs to use that more instead of trying to go strength for strength with some of these fighters. And y'all know that Mario Renault fight, boy, that was close. You know, some people feel like Mario Renault won that fight. Let's see, Marcus said Invicta Sarge was a brawler. She was a little bit of a brawler, like she still is now, but you know, she's better on the ground. Like, she just don't let her hands go enough to me to, you know, to fight, you know, to be a stand-up fighter. Like, she has good hands, but she just never lets them go enough. Like, she'll stop after maybe 1 or 2 punches. Robert Henry said, what did I miss? Well, we were talking about Shanna Dobson and Casey Oneil. Like I said, that's not really a fight I gotta pick in. That's too close to call. You know, Shanna Dobson, you know, she's got some momentum going and she's trying to make her statement. We just talked about that pretty much, and you know, talked about Casey Oneil. She's 5-0 on the come up. And we're just talking about Ketlin and Yana Kunitskaya right now. So you ain't missed much yet. I don't know though, man. This is close. I keep saying I favor Yana to win this fight, but when I'm just looking at some of Ketlin's, her ground game and just her overall physical strength, it's gonna be close, man. Because Ketlin is a little bit bigger. Like, Yana's a big fighter, but Ketlin's a little bit bigger. Marcus said it's ironic that both Ketlin and Yana, which both of them got knocked out, are fighting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Ladd knocked her out. Now Daniel knocked her out. So ooh, that was a bad knockout. I was just looking at it here. Robert here said, regardless who the judges say won a Renault fight, Yana's face definitely lost that fight, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, I watched it a couple times. Once I felt like Yana edged it, then I felt like Renault won it twice. But when I saw Yana's face, I was like, man, where's her defense at? I want to know what type of approach Yana Kunitskaya is going to take in this fight. Like, she has some decent work, but she really got to commit to one thing, you know, a couple of things in there. Because Mario Renault put some work on that face. I was like, yo, her defense, come on. Yeah, just looking at Ketlin Vieira, I know Ketlin is going to be the I think she'll be the physically stronger fighter, and it'll definitely favor her on the ground. Like, she's been working on her striking. I'm looking at Ketlin's striking right now. Like, she's definitely been working on it, but it's a little bit slower. That's what I'm saying. If Yana Kunitskaya uses her IQ, she could get some work in. Like, Yana Kunitskaya could use a good jab and use some good side kicks to Ketlin's body, because she's wide open. Like, Ketlin likes to trade. Ketlin likes to trade, but you know, she couldn't trade with Irene because Irene put that perfect left hook on her because she is the boxer. But when you look at how like Yana Kunitskaya, she kind of commits to her shots, and sometimes she'll just flick them out. I think it'll be better for her to stay on the outside. Ketlin got a nice right hand to the body too, man. She's very big, man. I forgot how big she was. Yeah, so she's an inch taller than Yana. So yeah, she's got the height advantage here. In the size, you know, I can't say Yana's gonna be bigger. I mean, Ketlin, yeah, they'll be about even. Yeah. Minabe said Yana seems open for submission. Hopefully Caitlin gets a finish. Caitlin gets finished and Yana gets TKO'd. I could see her getting TKO'd actually, because I'm looking at the bombs that Caitlin throws, and Caitlin is no joke with them right hands. Like Sarge has a great chin though. That's why, you know, she's able to withstand these shots, but not everybody can take these shots. You know, Ketlin's inactivity and her injury just kept her out of the mix for a while, but I think the more and more I'm just looking at some clips here, I'm gonna have to go with Ketlin. I didn't make no official prediction yet, so that's why I'm just kind of doing my study now for y'all. I mean, what do y'all think? Like, who do you have in this fight? Sarge. Oh, sorry, I was looking at Sarge fight. Who do y'all have, Ketlin or Yana? That's what I want to know. Who do y'all pick? Because I'm going to go back and do my pick probably tomorrow. Official pick. Yeah, man, it said she wasn't impressed with Yana. Sometimes Yana be letting, you know, she be letting up. Like, I feel like she could have won the Aspen Lab fight, but she let up in that. She could have won the Mario Renault fight a little bit more convincing, but she let up in that. So yeah, man, sometimes she looks unimpressive in there, I know. Okay, Meta's got Ketlin, yeah. Yeah, the more I look at it, like, I guess I was just looking at Yana and her training as of lately, but, you know, training is different than when you get in the octagon, man. You know, I was trying to look at that and just look at some of her fights, but I think it's just going to come down to, you know, who really has the better skill set the better execution, excuse me. And yeah, Kevin's power. She's got some power there. I'm just looking, man. Damn. Mark said, out of all people, Aspen Land TKO Yana. That TKO pushed her to pound for pound top 10, Marcus. I don't know how, but Ketlin was fighting Irene in the middle of Wall Street over stock and got NASDAQ knocked down by 1,000 points. Yeah, I could see Ketlin taking this fight. I could see Ketlin taking this fight to the fence and really putting some weight, and I could see her getting a few takedowns in here. But Ketlin is open for punches too. That's why I'm saying, like, there'll be some blood in this fight, because Ketlin, whenever she throws, she's wide open. So I know Yana's going to catch her a few times. So there's going to be some back and forth moments here. Like, don't be surprised if Yana drops Ketlin in like a round or two and she gets back up, you know, and they go back to trading. Split decision. I don't know. I'm thinking about a finish some way. I'm kind of thinking a finish some way. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to pull up the fight, you know, both fighters here, their profiles, and just kind of match them up with y'all and see who y'all have. Most of y'all have Ketlin winning this fight, which I understand, good reason. I mean, you know, Ketlin Vieira is, you know, she is one of the top contenders in the bantamweight division. I remember before her injury, I was like, oh, she's gonna get her chance against Amanda Nunes. and she's beat some solid people. You know, she's beat some solid fighters. Yana, again, you know, she has to show improve. 13-5. Got to get back in that mix. And like I said, you know, Yana, she moved up to featherweight, so she is a big bantamweight, but just matching them up right now, looking at their fights, Ketlin is just as big. You know, Ketlin is just as big, maybe even a little bit bigger. I'm looking at her hips and her size. So if she puts that physical, that size in the play, even in the guard on the ground, it's going to favor Vieira more so. Yeah, you too, Robert. Yeah, like I said, I was just looking at Yana over the past couple weeks, and I was just kind of edging it every time. So a few times I would say Yana, then I would say Ketlin, and then I was kind of sticking with Yana since Monday when I was watching their fights. But then I said, man, I'm looking at Ketlin. I've been looking at her fights today, and I was like, I don't know, Ketlin's got better movement and just better execution. Like, I know Yana's been working on different things. She's been training hard with her gym, but I'm like, nah, Ketlin's execution is much better. And, you know, it shows in the octagon. It shows whenever she gets in there. All right, so yeah, man, real quick. I don't know if y'all know this. For some of y'all that don't know, we have new fight news, new fight update for Loma Lookboonmee. You know, I actually just, you know, what did I post? When did I post that? Oh, that was a while back. I posted something else I was thinking about. Okay, Loma Lookboonmee, she just re-signed with the UFC, and her next fight is going to be in May against Sam Hughes. And you know, Sam Hughes was originally supposed to face Emily Whitmire on February 27th, but Emily Whitmire had to pull out of that fight. I mean, that whole matchup's been changing up, because first it was Santa Cyphers versus Emily Whitmire. Cyphers is out, Hughes is in, now Whitmire is out. So Sam Hughes, she's moved out to May 1st against Loma Lookboonmee. And I think it's going to be a good fight for both of these ladies. You know, I think they're good strawweight prospects. And Loma Lookboonmee, she brings the action. You know, good Muay Thai fighter. I think Sam Hughes, you know, she's a good all-around striker on her level. And I think whenever they get in there, man, it's going to be some bombs thrown. There's going to be some good striking. Loma Lookboonmee, she's more so committed to stand up. And, you know, her kicks are powerful. You know, and Sam Hughes, I feel like she's more so a well-rounded striker, working on both, and has that wrestling coming into play. And, you know, she's been working on her grappling as well. I know the last time out against Tisha Torres didn't go her way, of course, you know, because of that freak accident with the eye. But, you know, she sounds like she's ready to get back in there and you know, erase that memory of that fight. Does anybody know why Emily Whitmire pulled out of that fight? I never found out why. I mean, I can check right now, but let's see. Hang on, I'll check. Marcus Bell said he has, I got Lookboonmee. Minabay said, are you going to talk about Grasso being the best boxer? One win and she's the best boxer. I mean, I can talk about it now if you want me to. At the end, I'll talk about it. Hang on. Marcus said, who wants to see Jermaine in the title, Holly in the title eliminator? Marcus, if you bring that fight up, man, I'm blocking you. You know I don't want to see that fight. I mean, if it happens because they're at the top. I mean, but I'm not asking for it. Let's see. Emily Whitmire was forced out of the bout due to undisclosed reasons. It has yet to be announced that the bout will be rescheduled. No, it's not going to be, because Emily Whitmire is out and Sam Hughes is fighting Loma Lookboonmee. Undisclosed reasons. So Emily Whitmire is out for undisclosed reasons. All right. So yeah, it's going to be a good matchup. I like Loma. I like Sam Hughes. You know, I think this is the fight that Sam Hughes needs. honestly, I would have preferred this to be her first fight than Tisha Torres. You know, jumping right in there with the top 10, that was kind of a lot of pressure for Sam Hughes. But somebody like Loma Lookboonmee, I think this is a good matchup because, you know, style wise it's going to bring some style wise it's going to bring a lot of action, and, you know, at the same time it's a name on the right tier for Sam Hughes to build herself up. You know, Loma is a tough customer. I mean, pretty much everybody in the strawweight division, in my opinion, is a tough fight. But that's where you kind of want to start to see if you are UFC material. You know, if you really want to know if you got in the UFC, Loma Lookboonmee is that fighter you want to fight. And, you know, get in there and say, if I can beat her, maybe I can beat, you know, Olivia Sousa. You know, maybe I could somebody like Angela Hill, you know. But the legs, man, the powerful leg kicks, the way Loma Lookboonmee was putting it on Jian Frey, yeah, you got to be prepared for that. You got to be able to take away her kicks. And I think Sam Hughes, if she takes the approach of taking the fight to the ground, this might be a fight where she has to take it to the ground or be very, very smart with the striking. So yeah, I'll probably since the update changed on her fight, I might, you know, get Sam Hughes back on and talk to her again, you know, throughout the months before that fight, you know, since there's the first, so we still got a minute to go. So I'll probably talk to her again before then, and maybe try to get her on like a live with y'all, like you actually talk to her. All right, so yeah, last fight here, but I will talk about the Alexa Grasso thing. Let's talk about I know y'all like this fight. This is Robert's favorite fight here. Chookagian versus Viviane Araujo. Yeah, it's going down, man. Number 2, Chookagian versus number 7, Viviane Araujo. I can't look. My first thoughts on this fight, I can't be mad. Every time I hear Caitlin puts herself in that position, I'm like, look, more power to her. You know, she's like one of the only fighters in the division that seems to accept fights, you know, in the blink of an eye. You know what I mean? So anybody that wants to fight the way she does and accepts a fight right away against top 10 fighters, I'm fine with it. You know, she's taking a much better approach than some of these other ladies in the flyweight division. So much respect to her. So yeah, it's going down. Chookagian versus Viviane Araujo, May 15th. Yeah, you heard me, Robert. May 15th is going down. So talking about it again from the outside, looking in as far as the business, Caitlin has the mind for the business side. You know, that's why I give her a lot of respect. Look, she's playing chess here right now. She's playing chess because she knows that her days are numbered now. Not like somebody's coming to, you know, really retire her, but it's her choice. You know, she knows she's fought just about everybody in the flyweight division, right? She's already challenged for the title, and we saw how that went, and she knows how that went. So every time she's asked about a title shot again, she'll either say maybe, or if it comes along, I'll take it. But other than that, she's kind of good where she's at, you know. And I mean, like, you can tell she's good where she's at without her having to really say that, because she continues to take on fights and call out fighters like Alexa Grasso, which to me, that's fine. I mean, if you're holding that gatekeeper status down, and anybody wants to go through you, you're that fighter, that's fine. I mean, if y'all don't want her there, get her out of there. Somebody needs to get her out of there. You know, even for us looking from the outside looking in, we saying Caitlin needs to go, I'm tired of her. Well, tell one of these other fighters to get her out of there. Nobody's been able to do that yet, you know? So she's going to continue to play that spot, and you can't get mad at her, man, because it's money for her. She's staying active, and she's taking on everybody in the top 10. Like, the lowest she's taken was after the Valentina fight, where she took on Antonina, right? What was Antonina ranked whenever she fought Caitlin? I can't remember. You know, I think she wasn't in the top 10, right? But after that, anyways, after she beat Antonina, she went right back to fighting top 10 fighters, you know. So that shows you she is a fighter that, look, I don't care. I want to stay active. I'll fight anybody. I'm going to just keep doing my thing. And she's doing what we want a lot of our other favorite fighters to do, right? That's why it's making a lot of people mad, I think, because our favorite fighters aren't doing what she's doing. that's kind of what it comes down to, Robert, you know. So real quick, let me check the chat here. All right, what do we got? Robert Henry said, let's go Araujo, let's go Vivi. Don't end up like Claudia having to call 1-800 oxygen. And you know that's gonna, I ain't gonna say it's gonna happen, that could happen. Robert, you know Caitlin will win by unanimous decision. Daniel H, what's going on? Danielle said Chookagian by points. You know, Minna, only 2 fighters have been able to finish her. And that's what I'm saying, like, Minna, that's what it takes, like, elite fighters to stop Caitlin Chookagian's style. You got to be a much smarter fighter, which Valentina was, or you got to be a straight up disrespectful beast like Jessica Andrade. You know what I'm talking about? Just going straight in there and working. You know, she went in there with that power. You got to have great power like Jessica Andrade has. Zaza Kita, what's going on? Zaza Kita said Caitlin Chookagian is good at, yeah, Caitlin Chookagian has a nice frame and length and good cardio to outlast. That's true. That's what I'm saying, Zaza Kita. You hitting it on the head. That's what I'm saying. When we talk, look, let's go in. We're gonna talk about the actual fight here in a minute. But I'm telling you, man. If she wins, you know, by a damn decision is the only way that she can win. Don't let her play chess. See, yeah, let's go back to that. Caitlin Chookagian plays chess in the ring, in the octagon and outside of the octagon. Like right now, I say under Valentina, Caitlin Chookagian is probably one step ahead and winning over all these other flyweights, because she's getting everything she wants right now. How many times did she fight last year? She fought 4 times. Hey, it's 2-2, but beating beating Antonina and Cynthia Calvillo, that still stands for something. You know, before that, she beat Jennifer Maia, she beat JoJo Calderwood, close fight with Jessica I, beat Alexis Davis. So she's pretty much, under the champion, she's kind of faced a who's who of flyweights, you know what I mean? You know, she was willing to take on anybody. So you got to say, this girl is actually putting herself in a position better than these other fighters. You know, she's already challenged for the belt, didn't graduate to that status, so she's settling for a salutatorian instead, you know? Not a valedictorian, so she's that salutatorian where she can say, I can call the shots on certain fights. You know, you have to go through me to get to the champion. You know, and then we talk about her money. She's definitely, you know, getting paid good off of each fight. Like, she has a set rate. Like, I'm gonna have to actually pull up her pay if I can. I don't really like to dig into people's pockets, but you know the way she's fighting, that she's banking money, because she said she's getting a few more fights because she knows that she's going to be leaving the game soon to focus on family, right? So right now, her real thing it's not really to be champion, it's to secure paydays and secure money for whenever she leaves the game and becomes a mother, becomes a, you know, full-on family woman. Let me check the chat. Marcus Bell said, you heard Caitlin stated that she don't mind being a gatekeeper. Yeah, I heard that. Definitely, because when she was asked before, did she want to fight for the belt again, she was just kind of like, well, if that championship opportunity comes, I'll take it. But other than that, I'm trying to get so-and-so in the octagon. I want to fight again and again because, you know, I'm going to be leaving soon. You know, that was kind of said. So I'm cool. I'm cool with that. Roger, what's going on, man? Zazakita said, what happened to Cynthia Calvillo? Was she still embarrassed by her Chookagian performance? No, she's out because of a shoulder injury. Yeah, Calvillo's out because of a shoulder injury. I'm telling you, Robert, Caitlin fought more opponents than Bellator did in events in 2020. I'm telling you, man. That's what I'm saying. Look, Caitlin is doing the right thing right now because, look, it's about money with her. And at the same time, it ain't like she's BSing us. You know, she's not really fighting tomato cans or anything like that. She's still giving us good quality opponents. I mean, you may not like her style, but she's still facing top level competition. And guess what? The top level fighters, they still can't. Some of these top flyweights, they still can't beat her. And then her next business move is the obvious. Every time you call, she answers. You know, every time you call, she answers. What happened whenever Lauren Murphy was supposed to take that fight against Calvillo when they called her? She said to wait a weekend, right? And then boom, gone. Who took that? Who took the fight? Caitlin Chookagian. That's what I'm talking about. Caitlin knows. She knows her end game. That's why whatever comes her way, she's getting it. Like, I've seen people like this in the workforce sometime. Like, if they've got an end game and it's about time to retire, they're going to do certain things to make that money stack up. You know, so same thing with her. Like Caitlin Chookagian said, look, when they call me, I'm there. That's what she probably telling her husband too. Like, right now, you know, I'm gonna be ripping and running, making these moves, but it's gonna pay off in the long run. Yeah, I'm looking at some of her paydays right now. It look good. It look good as long as she's managing this money right. It looks looking good. 53,000 off the Calderwood fight. 24 to show, 24 to win. So Rod, she got a 24-24 off the Calderwood fight, and from there it just went up. So y'all look at this money and look at what she's doing. That's respect. If she lose, okay, Roger said if she loses, she's getting over 80,000. Cause I'm looking at her pay grade. Let's start with like Jessica I. It started at 29,000, right? By Valentina Shevchenko fight, she was in the six figures. She made 130,000. And who else knows what other money you making? You know what I mean? Like, or the back end money. But from there, she banked 140 grand. Calvillo fight. You see that? She answered that call on short notice, and look how much she got for the Calvillo fight, $140,000. Who wouldn't do that? Zazakita says she had a weird loss. Jessica, I reckon she would beat I in a rematch. Yeah, I would hope so. Gary Baldwin, what's going on? Gary said Caitlin lost the I. She could lose to many flyweights. I don't know. Like, I can't say she'll lose to many. She might lose to some, but she's not gonna lose to many. I think that's obvious in her record. Like, the main ones she's lost to was Shevchenko and Andrade. And the I fight could have gone either way, but other than that, Caitlin's been beating fighters. Like I said, if you like her style or not, no. Exactly, Roger. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you get to a certain level of status in your flyweight division or any division, well, let's talk flyweight division. Let's talk flyweight division because this is the one where fighters aren't really calling the champion out, right? Let's say when you get up to number 6 and number 7, I would be calling for the fight because that's an automatic promotion, right? That's automatic promotion, right, Raj? I mean, look, after she fought for the title, she got a big pay raise. Yeah. Because I'm just looking, like I said, she went from a 30,000 payday to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, She went from 30,000, and then in her next 3 fights, she made 6 figures, and from there, she's guaranteed 6 figures in all her fights. You know, so that's good money. And you know, like I said, her mindset was, okay, if I lose, I'm still getting guaranteed 6 figures. So, well, you know, the belt's not everything. You know, I want to make a family. Well, I can still stick this out and just hold down my spot. That's fine. Caitlin's gonna be top 3 gatekeeper. Is gonna be the top 3 gatekeeper. Yeah, I think she is. You know, and I think she's settled into that position where she's fine with it. You know, because it's money for her end game. Her end game is pretty soon. So I think once she leaves, we're gonna have to find a new gatekeeper. You know, I don't think there's gonna be another gatekeeper like her. Like if this was boxing, and you know how boxing has different sanctioning bodies, I think she would still have a belt on that type of level. Like, you know how there's a WBC, WBA, IBF champion in boxing. I think she would at least hold one of those belts if like Valentina didn't, like, wasn't undisputed, if she wasn't unified. So I think she would still be like a title holder. That's how much game she still has, you know. Gary Boss, I think some strawweights have the ability to beat Caitlin. I don't know. Some of the strawweights, give me a strawweight. I know Joanna would be an interesting fight, but I don't know how Joanna would do with a thinking fighter that's going to use her reach and length. I mean, you talking Wei Li, that would be interesting, but still. Minabay said Valentina is just too dominant for a developing weight class. Last time a random girl who shouldn't have been in there, you saw what happened. Roger said actually Valentina is good for a developing division. Every developing fights have a target to achieve in every aspect of the game. Every developing fighter has a target to achieve every aspect of the game. I mean, yeah, while Valentina is the champion, you know, you got these other fighters kind of fighting it out, kind of fighting like a tournament, and at the same time, you got these different levels of skill sets in that top 5 that continue to hold it down. Then the next 6 through 10, you got a few veterans in there. Yeah, every developing fighter has a target to achieve. Yeah. You got those different tiers. So yeah, each different tier has something to achieve, and you kind of you kind of get to see who wants to be champion or who just wants to fight. You know what I mean? Like Roxanne's kind of singled herself out as a fighter that just wants to fight, where you have even a Macy Barber. Like Macy Barber, of course, you know, saw what happened, but she was talking about being a champion, right? And she had a game plan, not a game plan, but a blueprint. Didn't work out, but you know, yeah, man, the strawweights overall, they're well-rounded. You know, they have a better skill set there. Strawweights are better overall. Caitlin is actually huge for a flyweight. She should be, yeah, she should be at bantamweight. But yeah, Caitlin, on the outside looking in, the business moves she's making is very wise for a fighter that's not looking to really be champion right now. Or not right now, I mean, maybe at all at this point, and she has an end game. She's doing it. At the same time, you know, like I said, she's getting fights, and they're not tomato cans. She continues to fight top 10 fighters. Win or lose, you know, she's set up good until she leaves. Now, going into this fight though, it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be an interesting fight. You know, this is a 3-round fight, so Viviane Araujo may have a chance. So style-wise, I think it's going to really come into play of Viviane. She's going to really have to close the distance in this fight. To me, I think she's going to have to at least bank 2 rounds. You know, don't go in there trying to think you can draw a fight out with Katlyn Chookagian. You know, Viviane Araujo, she's going to have to go in there and be physical. She's got the black, you know, she's got the background in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you know, so she has that ground game, and she has that physical strength that I think would give Katlyn problems. So she has to go in there, to me at least, and try and bank 2 rounds in this fight. You know, she has to give it her all in the first 2 rounds, because we know she ain't got the gas for the third. Not saying she don't need to work on her cardio, but she does need to work on that. But she needs to at least secure 2 good rounds in this fight, because Katlyn is that awkward point fighter. You know, she can fight from the outside. She can just touch you, and the judges will see them touches, and they'll reward her those rounds. Now, if you want to go jab for jab, I mean, this is going to be a fight where Viviane's going to have to use good timing too. You know, if she wants to jab with a jabber like Katlyn, she could have success with it, because I think that Viviane's jab and some of her punch selection is much more effective. You know, she has more power behind it. So if she can get respect early on and throw Katlyn off the rhythm. I keep saying Katlyn because I was talking about Katlyn, but I mean Katlyn. Katlyn, you know, Viviane could throw her off that rhythm. You know, she could throw her off and just start really working her if she closes that distance early on. But, you know, as far as like a stand-up fight, it'll be a lot closer. You know, Katlyn's game plan will probably be to take her into deep waters and just outpoint her. You know, work some knees in the clinch, throw in volume, and kind of use a good footwork. You know, kind of use that lateral movement to kind of throw Viviane off. You know, I think Viviane, her best work is whenever fighters stand in front of her. You know, she has the hand speed, but I don't know if she really has that those type of angles like Katlyn does. You know, Katlyn boxes. You know, Katlyn does box, so Katlyn boxing in there might give Viviane trouble. You know, whenever Roxanne stood in front of her, when Montana stood in front of her, yeah, it definitely made Viviane striking look better. But we're going to see how she looks against a moving, awkward target like Katlyn Chookagian. You know, I don't think she's ever been, no, she hasn't. She's never been in there with a fighter like Katlyn Chookagian. Oh, let's see. Marcus said he like to see Rose grab with Taylor Santos. Man, that'd be a tough one for Rose, boy. So yeah, on the inside, man, this fight is gonna be a tough fight for Viviane Araujo. I think it's gonna be one of these fights where Viviane is gonna want to switch her game up from stand up to ground game. You know, she's going to want to take this fight to the ground and be physical. You know, that's the way she's going to have her success, similar to Jessica Eye. You know what I mean? Like, you got to get her out of there. Because Jessica Eye found that one moment, landed that right hand to the body, and finished Katlyn off in that first round. Now, we don't know if Katlyn would have kept that fight standing and from a distance, she might have gave Jessica Eye a much harder fight. You know, Jessica Eye said, let me stay in her chest, let me stay in the pocket. Eventually, I'm going to get to her. So Viviane Araujo, her main plan, to me, like I said, give maybe 2 good rounds, but try to look for a submission or a stoppage against Katlyn Chookagian. Because the longer you let Katlyn stay on her feet and just move, she's just going to, you know, touch you and keep it moving and keep moving and making you miss. But yeah, we're still a little far out from this, so, you know, I'll probably break this fight down. I'll probably break this one down, you know, within the next month or so. Man, Daniel said, how do you think Chookagian would do on her back against Vivian? I think she would be in trouble. Similar to how she was when she fought Valentina. Whenever Valentina had her on her back and she was down, I think Vivian would be too physical for her. You know, Vivian is strong. Like, she was handling Roxanne. When Roxanne was trying to go in for takedown, nah, man, she was too physically strong. I think if Vivian is on top, she's going to land big elbows, or she's just going to control her inside, control her, just really maul her. Like, Caitlin's good, you know, she definitely gets that work in, you know, but executing against some of these much stronger grapplers, man, it's just going to be a different world. And, you know, like, her midsection isn't really like a powerful thing, you know, she's not really like a physically strong fighter. So when she's on her back, I could just see her in trouble. That's why I say Vivian, she's going to have to change from striker to grappler in this fight. I think Vivian should be a straight up physical fighter in this one, mauling and grappling. Zazakita said, one thing I like Vivian, she seems to have hard hits. Yeah, she does, man. Like, Vivian has beautiful punches. Like, her punch variety is nice. You know, she throws that left hook and left uppercut at awkward angle. Her jab is straight and efficient. But my thing is, it looks good against fighters that stand in front of her. Like, I want to know if she can land this against a moving target like Caitlin. That's going to be the big question. Like, she had trouble with Jessica Ai. You know, she lost that fight because she couldn't really get off like that. And she's definitely been fighting a little bit more conserve. You know, she's been conserving energy in fights. You know, usually she'll be bouncing around on the legs, being extra. And, you know, by the third round, she's breathing hard. So she's been a little bit more efficient, you know, with her movement and her speed. But yeah, Vivian definitely has the harder punches, the harder strikes going into this fight. All right, so yeah, what do y'all think though? Y'all give me y'all pick real quick and jump to the last topic here. Minnesota, I don't think Vivian finished anyone in the UFC to my knowledge. I don't think she has, no. Like, she's not really like a knockout puncher. She's like a combination puncher, you know, just efficient. Is she knocked out? Wait a minute, hold on, let me see. I remember her highlights. Hold on, let me see. Toledo Bernardo. She knocked out Toledo Bernardo, and that was a while back, but she hasn't knocked out anybody since then. I mean, that was a couple years ago. That was her first fight in. Yeah, she knocked Toledo Bernardo out. Gary Baldwin said Vivian will win off of damage if she goes to a decision. It's possible, man. It's possible if she's a physical fighter with it. But I mean, early on, you know, I think Caitlin is just so awkward and too, you know, just as active, even more so. And she's got the cardio for 4 or 5 rounds. Yeah, she's not a knockout puncher per se, you know, like she did score that 1 KO, but she's not really like a knockout hitter. So yeah, real quick, you know, I talked about this in a video already. Mina had brought it up though. DC and his recent comments about Alexa Grasso and her being the best pure boxer in WMMA. Like I said, I'd probably talk about it on a podcast episode I'm gonna do tomorrow, and you can look at the video too I did, Mina, but I think that Alexa Grasso, she is one of the better boxers in WMMA, but she's definitely not the best boxer. You know, I think that Alexa Grasso is a very good boxer. You know, she's very good. But to me, to be the best pure boxer, you have to have beaten the best fighters with that style, with that particular style. You know, you have to outbox Tatiana Suarez. You have to outbox Carla Esparza, you know, which she wasn't able to do. You know, you would have had to done a little bit of everything in there like that. Like, when you look at Alexa Grasso, do I think she is a pure boxer in there? Yeah, definitely. Like, if you put gloves on her hands and took her into the boxing ring, she could score wins over boxers, you know, with that particular style. But is she the best pure boxer in mixed martial arts in the octagon? No, she's not. When she beats Jennifer Maia, when she beats Jessica Ai, and whenever she gives Valentina a tough run for the title, then we can argue that. That she's the best pure boxer. But is she a pure boxer? Yes, she is a pure boxer. Just look at her stance, look at her moves. You could put her in that ring, you could put her in that boxing ring, and she'll dance circles and she'll box like a fighter, like a real boxer. But as far as her proving to be that best boxer, no, like, you got to have some wins with that. Now, Joanna, is she the best Muay Thai fighter in WMMA? Yeah, you could definitely argue that. Between her and Valentina, you could argue that. Best Muay Thai fighters because they transitioned well and they got solid wins and they won the belts off of it, you know? I mean, to be the best, you have to have a resume to back it up. I mean, it's resume over skills. I think that's what I meant to say last time. Yeah, resume over skills, definitely. You know, so I think maybe DC meant in that fashion. Maybe he meant like she's one of the pure boxers in WMMA. When you just look at her, you're like, man, like, she really boxes. She really works in there. You know, she's really got the movement and the footwork down. But I can't say she's the best. Like I said, I talked about in this video, you know, you got Rose Namajunas, who you have to put a few levels above her because she's won the belt off of it. You know, she's beat Joanna with her boxing skill. You know, she used the boxing skill to beat Jessica Andrade in the rematch and almost used it to beat her in the first fight, and it was very impressive, you know. Let me see here, because I've read it already, but I know y'all have too. Hold on 1 second, y'all. One second, I was lagging a little bit. All right, so yeah, I was lagging, so I don't know if y'all missed what I was saying, but yeah, DC, well, you know, DC and Dana White, they had some things to say now. It was almost like one of them situations where they was like, oh yeah, I told you she was this good. I always believed in it. You know what I mean? Because leading up to the fight, nobody was really talking about it. They were all focused on Maycee Barber. Now, Alexa Grasso comes through, whoops her. Now it's almost like everybody said, oh yeah, I used to call her the best boxer. I used to call her the Mexican Ronda Rousey. Now they all trying to say like they were behind her. But to me, it didn't really seem like they were behind her because they didn't play this out like it should have been, like a fair fight. Everybody was so hard on, they were riding so hard on Maycee Barber. Everybody was riding so hard on Maycee Barber, like they didn't even think of Alexa Grasso. So now when Alexa Grasso goes there and does what she does, now they're saying, yeah, that was the Mexican Ronda Rousey. Yeah, that was the best boxer in WMMA. Now you're saying all that. You know, y'all should have just been watching both of the fighters instead. Mina said, it might just be me, but I wasn't even impressed. I wasn't even that impressed with Grasso. She won how she was supposed to. Barber was more impressive to me. I disagree with that, man. You know, like, Grasso was impressive because you talking about a power puncher that she was dealing with and the way she just made her look out of her league. Barber, I wasn't impressed with at all. I won't say at all because I was impressed with her heart. I just wasn't impressed with her skill set. Like, I was impressed with her third round rally, but I wasn't impressed with Maycee Barber. I mean, that year off, of course, I know she had the injury, but she hadn't improved. She really hadn't improved. Barber's heart and power was cool, but her jabbing was 30 feet away. Didn't impress me. Yeah, she wasn't trying to get hit with big shots in this fight, so her jab was a little, different. And, what's crazy is her best boxing came from some of her past fights. It wasn't like her best boxing was in this particular fight, because she was actually working a lot in the clinch and on the ground in this fight. I think a lot of people thought Grasso would win. She was the favorite. I don't think a lot of people thought she would win. That's why they were focused on Maycee Barber. Everybody was so focused on Maycee Barber. Like, the casual fans were focused on Maycee Barber. And, of course, the UFC was focused on Maycee Barber. But I think that, the hardcore fans that had been following Maycee felt like Maycee was going to lose. To follow Alexa Grasso, they feel like Alexa Grasso was going to win. Gary Baldwin, Rose couldn't decisively beat Tisha, Jessica, Carolina in striking, at least for me, so I can't call her the best boxer. I would say, yeah, those were definitely tough fights. I agree with that. But I think she was able to use it at a championship level and win with it. That's why you got to give it to her. But yeah, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, like Tecia Torres is a very good boxer, I think. Tecia Torres, yeah. But when you talk about how she was able to finally do it against Joanna, you'd have to give her that level because she actually got a belt with it, if that makes sense. Zazaki said, this is the pros about Barber: power, youth, heart, killer instinct that you can't teach. Hopefully she improves. Yeah, like that's what I give her a lot of respect for, that stuff. The power, youth, heart, and killer instinct. But I want to see her start learning some stuff. Robert Chris. He said his man is acting like St. Pierre, stepping the cage at the end of somebody's fight. Like, I wasn't impressed with your performance. Yeah, I was impressed with it though. I mean, you 22, yeah, but I mean, if you in the top 10, you better be showing me something. I mean, come on, especially with the talk Barber has. Like, I like her attitude that she wants to fight, but I want to see her back it up. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be in the top 10, so you should be fighting like you're in the top 10. Yeah, but I think some of the best fighters that took the best fundamentals from boxing are definitely like Valentina Shevchenko and, of course, GDR. That's all GDR does. GDR is a stand-up fighter. And, GDR has some of the best hands in WMMA. So you have to talk about GDR. Of course, Joanna, her fundamentals, her jab, and the things that she was able to do. But, yeah, I definitely say Rose is there because Rose, even though she lost to these other fighters, she was able to excel at that championship level. It came down to a point where she kept working. She sparred with fighters like Valentina and her camp, and she got better after those fights. That's why she surpassed Alexa Grasso on a boxing level and was able to win against Joanna with the boxing. So when you beat a champion with your boxing, that will push you to a higher level of boxing. Yeah, GDR did submit Pena. That was crazy. Like I expected her boxing to win that fight. And then you got to think, GDR, the way she laid out Aspen Ladd with that right hand, or dropped her with that right hand. That was a beautiful right hand. Like GDR to me got one of the best right hands in WMMA. Her and Megan Anderson got great right hands, powerful right hands. Yeah, as I was a kid, who would expect that? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't expect it. I was picking GDR either to win by knockout or Pena to win by submission, and look how that went. Danielle H said Nunes is a great boxer too. I think she's a good boxer. She's very good off the back foot at landing a counter. I think she proved that against Chris Cyborg. Very accurate. I think Chris Cyborg is a good boxer as well. She's been sparring with, of course, Clarissa Shields, Raquel Miller. She's been sparring with a lot of boxers. Yeah, if anything, Gary, I was really impressed with Grasso's grappling that night. I was more so impressed with her grappling than her actual boxing than what I'm used to seeing. Just because she handled a bigger fighter and, she took it to the ground and almost submitted Macy twice, armbar and a rear naked choke. So I was impressed with it. Minna said everyone hates GDR, but I love watching her. Wish she would fight more. Yeah, like she's not like my favorite fighter. I wish she would have took that Cyborg fight, but I mean, she does have some good fights. She's got some good hands. I'm telling you, my fight I want to see, if Amanda Nunes vacates the bantamweight belt, then I want to see Valentina move up to 135 and challenge GDR for that vacant bantamweight belt. That would be a good fight. Since neither of them could beat Nunes, and say if Nunes retired, let Valentina and GDR fight for the vacant bantamweight belt. That's still the fight I really want to see in WMMA, or one of them. Say if Nunes retires, GDR will be champion. Hey, if Nunes retires, then after that, when that belt goes vacant, let let her and Valentina fight for it. That would be good. Because I know, since they couldn't beat Nunes, that would just be a good fight. Gary said Rose being more well-rounded than Grasso is why she pulled ahead. Right. Yeah, you got to be. Like, even though your main style is a boxer, you got to be well-rounded. Like, that's why I say Joanna surpassed a lot of Muay Thai fighters, because Joanna wants to strike and wants to kick. She still wants to strike and kick, but she became a little well-rounded, with her footwork and her stance, so she could use her Muay Thai style still. She could still use kicks, head kicks, front kicks, jabs, right hands, knees in the clinch. Yeah, GDR versus Valentina is an interesting fight. How their frames would stack up. If they're both at bantamweight, it's all have to come down to skill for Valentina too. It's gonna have to be a good step up for her, you know what I mean? Because she's been a bantamweight. I think she'd have a good chance. Let's match them up now. I might do a video on that fight, because that's a fantasy fight that I want to see. I already told you I want to see Rose and Alexa in a boxing match, but I want to see Valentina and GDR fight for the bantamweight belt. So yeah, Valentina's about 5'5", we know that. And I think GDR is like 5'8", I want to say. And GDR is about 5'8". Colton said, Colton, what's going on? Colton said Caitlin is going against Viviane. Yes, May, what did I say, May 17th? Or did I say May 15th? Hold on. Yeah, May 15th, Colton, they're fighting. And yeah, Daniel, that's a possibility, like Valentina trying to smother GDR on the ground. That would be like a good possibility, you know, if she uses her strength and her ability to, you know, just shoot in for one of them takedowns. But you gotta get on the inside of that reach, man. Let me see. Yeah, GDR is about 5'9". 5'9" with the 72.5-inch reach advantage. 5'9", 72.5-inch reach advantage. And Valentina is, we know, 5'5" with the 65.5 reach. A 7-inch reach advantage there. I mean, that fight, it definitely would be, it's definitely competitive. It would be a good fight because, you know, let's say Valentina stayed at 135. It would have happened sooner or later. Zazakita said, what do you think of what do you think of Ribas versus Pauliana Viana 2? Either way you get a prospect to invest into. Also, it's been a few years since Viana's on a 2-fight losing streak. And Ribas just blasted out Marina. Just got blasted out by, yeah, I was about to say, yeah, she just got blasted out. I think I would actually kind of favor, I think I would favor Ibas a little bit more because I think that she has gotten a little better. I think she just made a big mistake in that Marina fight and got caught with a big shot. But I think in a rematch, I would have to say Amanda Ibas. I think she's became a little bit more well-rounded. And I think her jab has improved more so than Pauliana. I think if Ibas can do a little bit of what JJ Aldrich did, just a little bit, you know, if you could just strike a little bit better, then I think Ibas could do better against Pauliana. Because Pauliana looked like she was going to have some problems with Mallory Martin if Mallory Martin stayed on her feet. Because, you know, Mallory Martin looked like she was landing some good punches early. So I think if Ibas sticks to her striking game, which I think has improved on that level against Pauliana, I think Pauliana would lose against Ibas in a rematch. That's just me. Like, I think, again, Ibas was just in there with a much better Muay Thai fighter and Marina Rodriguez. That's why she got knocked out the way she did. It was very careless. But I think her striking has improved enough to beat Pauliana. Oh, yeah. Daniel H. said Valentina's too smart to stand with GDR. GDR almost KO'd Nunes from her back. Cole said, who is your pick with Caitlin versus Viviane? That's the best matchup they could have for Caitlin. As of right now, I'm going to do a pick later, but as of right now, I'm kind of favoring Caitlin. I'm kind of favoring Caitlin on points, Colton. Daniel Edge said, I know it's MMA, but Valentina is too defensively sound to let GDR kick her up kick her like that. Yeah, Zazakita. Yeah, they're both marketable. You know, Ibas and Pauliana. You know, especially with Pauliana beating that dude up too that tried to rob her. You know, she's kind of been, put a little bit of buzz behind her name. Robert said, I'm not interested in Valentina going back up. I'm telling you right now that fight is not going the distance. Either Shevchenko submits GDR or GDR wins on the feet. I'm interested, man, because if she wants to be a 2-division weight champion, I want to see her win the bantamweight belt. I've always wanted to see her try to capture that bantamweight belt. Like, I don't know if moving down to 115 is a good idea for her body. I mean, she knows her body, but it seemed like moving down would be kind of a killer for Valentina. Sometimes moving down is tougher than moving up. So I think if she moved back up to 135 and challenge there, it would be a better better competition. Just like with Weili, like if Weili fights Valentina, I want to see it at 125. Gary Balder said Rebos versus Hill. Ebos versus Hill, or the winner of Lemos or Souza makes more sense. Yeah, I had called for that before, man. The Ebos versus Angela Hill. I said that before. I want to see that fight. Oh yeah, I forgot Lemos versus Souza. That's gonna be a good one, man. Souza like to bang too, man, and Lemos has been getting better with her striking. Colton said, I think GDR would give Valentina problems, to be honest. I think so too. Marina outstrikes most of the division. Marina outstrikes most of the division. Wish Marina would fight Joanna. Yeah, she outstrikes a lot of fighters, when she can stay standing. But yeah, she needs to fight Joanna next if she wants a title shot. Her and Joanna need to fight. Valentina already looks a little thin at 125. Don't want to see her 115. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I think moving down to 115 would kind of be bad for her reflexes. That's kind of bad for your reflexes. She had talked about moving down to become a 2-division champion. Nah, you need to just move back up to 135 and maybe challenge for that bantamweight belt. That would be, dangerous. Sometimes moving down is dangerous, especially the older you get. Yeah, so yeah, man. Yeah, that's like my fantasy fight that I want to see. But yeah, I'm about to get up out of here in a minute here. I've been on for about an hour and 50 minutes. So any other questions? What other fights we got coming up? What y'all want to talk about real quick? I'll give you 10 more minutes. 150, I'll make it even 2 hours. I'll stay on for 2 hours now. All right, 10 more minutes. Who's the brightest prospect at 125? Let me see. Prospect. I think UFC prospect at 125 is 3, like I already named. Well, Taylor Santos is already in there. She's already number 13. I think Manon Firo and Miranda Maverick are some of the top flyweight prospects right now, Colton. Yeah, they'd probably be my top 3 prospects. Pretty soon, Taylor Santos is going to be a contender, though, whoever they get her in there with. But those are my 3. Yeah, Manon Firo and Taylor. If you still want to consider her one, but like I said, she's in that top 15 already. So Miranda Maverick, yeah. Manon Firo just looks comfortable too. Like when she's in there with her style, man, like she's fighting in the inside, she's fighting outside. She's got a little bit of speed to her. She's a good size flyweight too. Marcus said I gotta wait. Marcus, he gotta wait if I see her fight somebody. Yeah, I know. You gotta wait to see her fight somebody in the longer. Me personally, I think she is like one of the ones to watch out for though. Lemos is the dark horse in 115. She was out for a while. Y'all remember she was out for a while, right? But she got popped for a steroid. She was out for about 2 years. Hopefully the Lemos don't run into any more of that type of trouble. Yeah, Lemos got that. She's a dark horse, but she got that dark cloud over her head too, because she got popped back in 2019. Hopefully that don't happen anymore though, like I said. I can't wait to see what Taylor Santos is gonna do though, man. Like between Taylor Santos and Manon Fiorot, like they offer something. They just offer something big, man. Okay, what else we got? Colton said, has Jillian versus Maverick been rebooked? Not yet. Hopefully it will, cause on IG I think Jillian said hopefully they can get it rebooked. Miranda said the same. Oh, Focus Ball, what's going on, man? I just pulled in some mail. I think they came. I think my Focus Balls came. I think they're there, FB. Yeah, I think our Focus Balls came. I just ain't dug through this mail. Like, I check my box I check my mailbox. I don't check it very often. That's why it piles up sometimes. Because I just be too busy. So when I come home, every once in a while I pop that thing open, man. It's just be filled with stuff. But I think they brought it to the door this time. Yeah. But yeah, I pulled it in. It said Focus Balls on it. So yeah, I got it. I just haven't opened them up yet. Appreciate that. You said she reminds you of Wonder Boy and Joanna. Yeah, she's got a style, man. I gotta go back and watch that Taylor Santos fight with I'm gonna go back and watch that Taylor Santos versus Mara Romero Barella. I want to see how she lost that fight. I cannot remember. Zazakita said if she was popped for steroids, I'm putting money on her. She gonna be stronger than most strawweights. Yeah, it was 2 years ago, but like they say, some traces still be in there. You know how they say. Possible, Colt. Will age be the only thing that defeats Valentina? It's possible. That happens sometimes. If age takes your legs away or takes your reflexes away in a fight, then that kind of sets you up for defeat sometimes. But we'll see, man. Like, if she's still around whenever these other contenders prospects come up, we'll see, man. Marcus said if Taylor popped for steroids, she will be suspended with penalty. Has she? I mean, Taylor Santos, I didn't know she got popped. Are you just giving a scenario? Gary says she lost by doing nothing. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go back and watch it tonight. What was I reading? Oh, Gary said Kanako is my favorite prospect. You know what? That's who I was thinking of. She's one of my favorite prospects too. Kanako is one of my favorite prospects too, man. I like her wrestling, man. I like her activity too. Just wrestling and her mixture of striking. She's a good one. Yeah, she's one of my favorites. Non-UFC is Stan Fairtex. So like I know Stan Fairtex just lost the fight, but I think she's one of my favorite strawweight prospects. Or champion, excuse me. She's one of my favorites. Like if she came over to the UFC, I think that she would be one of those ones that would give people trouble in the UFC. Give some of the fighters trouble, but I gotta go back and watch that Stan Fairtex fight. I still haven't watched that either. I'm just behind on stuff. Valentina seems smart. She'll probably retire like GSP. Yeah, I think so. I think she'll retire before she loses something. Do you give Megan Anderson any chance against Nunes? I give her a puncher's chance. I give her a striking chance. I mean, not like a straight up clinic of striking, but maybe like a straight up chance at, scoring a stoppage or a knockout or even doing damage, Stan Fairtex got that clutching defeat from the jaws of victory. She went until she wasn't. No, one of those situations. Winning every round, and then after that, you get caught. Yeah, so let me see. Did we hit the 2 hour mark? Yeah, 2 more minutes. So yeah, what else is going on? I gotta watch that fight. Kind of give you my review on that. Yeah, he just hadn't checked his mail focus ball. He probably got him. He said, "I know I got mine." I don't know if you heard me, but yeah, I got mine focus ball. I just ain't opened them yet, but yeah, I just pulled them in today. GDR versus Megan Anderson, that would be a good fight. I wanted to see that fight at featherweight, man. I think GDR is a little bit more rugged on the inside. I think she could make it interesting. But Megan Anderson's right hand is a game changer, man. So that would be crazy. I think GDR has another level of better inside fighting that would she could go on the inside of Megan, but that's a good fight. I think I kind of favor Megan just a little bit, just because she's, got more power. That would be a good fight, though. Megan's knocked out some big girls too, so that'd be interesting. I know she'd have the power edge to me. Yeah, that too. Yeah, like GDR has that level of boxing where she would, to me, either go on the inside and make it rough and ugly to smother the power, or she would box or just like box and move. Yeah, that would be a good fight though. Yeah. If she does, Danielle, if she beats her with that right hand, yeah, we'll have to call it the equalizer then, man. Boy, I could just see it now though. If Megan was to win that belt, boy, she would go crazy, man. It would go to her head, boy. She'd be going crazy. She'd be trying to call Cyborg back to the UFC. I could see that now, man. Yeah, I think Megan's reach is a little bit longer because she's like 6 foot. Yeah, I think she's 6'1" or 6 foot. Sometimes they list her at 6'1". Yeah, she's 6 foot. Her reach, it got about the same. Their reach is actually about the same. She's like 2 or 3 inches taller than GDR, but yeah, their reach is about the same, 72.5. Yeah. That would be something too, Marcus. Yeah, becomes a champion, then Felicia Spencer comes out, and then boom. We know what would happen there. Then Felicia Spencer would be champion, right? All right, Robert, you out. Say good night. Yeah, I'm about to get up out of here too. I hit the 2-hour mark here. So yeah, man, I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe. I don't know when the next time I jump on live stream. Maybe tomorrow or maybe like Friday or something. Yeah, I might jump back on tomorrow. I'll see if I'm not too busy. But yeah, just make sure y'all subscribe, and yeah, I'll see y'all later. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Peace.